Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we got some Trac updates.
Not just Trac, but yeah, Trac, tap, pipe, the whole.
Yeah,
it's called TTP these days, right? It sounds almost like an internet protocol of
yeah,
sorts.
It does actually.
H is missing that H in front of it.
HTTP, yeah.
What does the H stand for? Like hyper?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Maybe that's the future, like scalability protocol for all this whole metaprotocol that Benny is kind of architecting. Right. Add the H to it. Call it the hyper track tap pipe protocol, whatever the fuck.
I like it.
I like it tue. But yeah, we're here to, I guess, celebrate, dude. It was news crazy to me this morning. I didn't know this today was the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, it says happy Trac-anniversary.
Trac-anniversary.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, dude. That's 1 year of a marriage. We've been pretty married.
That's right.
To Benny and the Trac and tap ecosystem.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So we found Trac. I mean, we haven't, in the early days, we never have spoken to Benny. And we just liked Trac because of the problem that we saw and the solution he was providing.
Yes.
And then we didn't start talking to Benny until after Bitmap launched.
Correct. Yeah, Benny's involvement was critical to Bitmap's like proliferation and support, right?
Yeah.
Trac was the backbone to Bitmap indexing and enabled things like parcelization and such. Tapping actually was very important. So, you know, these are the roots, the core infrastructure to like doing anything of substance on Bitcoin, right? And so after Bitmap, you know, we deployed something called DMT, which, you know, inspired by the innovative thought process set forth by Satoshi Nakamoto, right? It's like, let's leverage block data for some sort of like substance creation tool. Right?
Yeah.
We did that. Benny really like loved the concept. So he's like, you know what, if you guys can drum up enough, you know, traction off of this concept and build some momentum, he's like, you know, I'm in. Trac is in full support.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at, dude. Like it's a lot of things are happening. So the noise is kind of settling around runes, you know.
There was a lot of noise, man.
It was quite a lot of noise.
4 to 6 months, so much noise.
And yeah, it literally just, it actually was more of like a whimper. And like, who could have thought, who would have predicted this, right?
Yeah.
Who would have predicted that the actual value comes from like
the devs,
not
meme coins,
not memes, not influencer types.
Yeah.
Like it really truly is. And people, specifically degens, need to like take this as a learning lesson, right? And like kind of like,
I feel like this is a good thing for degens, man. You can you can be tactful, right? You know, you can decide. It's not like a random like. It's not a random situation where your coin happens to go up. It's like there's reasons behind value going up.
Correct. Yeah, it's a big deal, right? So it's like, let's not just sit around spouting just like, you know, this one singular word or phrase over and over and over and over again, trying to like to pollute the minds of others out there to kind of like, I don't know. So we've talked about memes in the past. So now we're talking about actual fundamentals here. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
It's 1 year of Trac development. Where are we at right now in the space? And in case you guys didn't notice, I'm rocking like a pretty cool shirt here. We'll talk more about this like towards the tail end of this.
First thing I noticed was the heart on that laptop, though. But
well, you like my heart, dude? You don't like it? Are you like?
I don't know if people can see the shirt though.
They can't.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's too low.
Yeah, there it goes.
It is, dude.
Yeah,
I'm trying my best to like rep here, rep the gang. The DMT gang, huh?
No, it's good. It's good. We got it.
Yeah, we're fine, dude. We got the shirt shot. Everybody just like pause frame and just like really zoom in, do all that stuff.
All right.
Damn. But yeah, the heart, it didn't desecrate the Apple logo too much, did it? No?
You can't cover the Apple logo. What are you doing, dude?
Sorry, dude. My bad.
All right, so now we're looking at Trac on CoinGecko, and let's see.
Yeah, let's go back in time,
dude.
The
spikening.
Yeah. So this is typical, dude. So BRC20s happened a year ago, literally. Right? This is why we're kind of like in the year anniversary phase. Basically, the whole like idea of tokenized assets on Bitcoin, right? It started about a year ago, maybe a little bit before. But Trac was one of the first, if not the only one, out of the pool of tokenized attempts to try and create something of real substance and value.
Yeah, at the time it was Oshi and Trac. And then that was about it.
Pretty much it. There are other like potentials out there.
Yeah.
But
Ords Games.
they're out there still cooking.
Yeah.
But like fucking, there was other protocol proposers and such. But this is what happens. So 1 year later, if you're still out there in survival mode, and Trac is actually way beyond survival mode.
Yeah.
They have gone leaps and bounds as far as progress from where they started a year
ago. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, we got a tweet by iMan. It says, people are starting to appreciate Benny, our Lord Dev. Again, like old times, the market is healing trust in the TTP ecosystem and those building within it.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing now, too, because it's like, dude, for a while now, for several months, there was quite like the anti-Benny sentiment out there, proliferated by, several notable figures out there who, we're mind warped in a sense to think Benny is actually becoming like, I don't know, some sort of bad actor potentially.
Yeah.
Really, he's just trying to warn the space, like, things that aren't obvious at the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, so Benny's has been, has a ton of experience in crypto. We've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of patterns that we see, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of patterns like websites that talk about like rainbows and blue skies, that we're going to take over the planet.
Correct.
And then you look at the project name, it looks like Bitcoin Cats, and it's an Ethereum project, but it's going to take over the world. And yet they still raise $100 million, fleecing everybody in their wakes.
Correct. Yeah. So instead, he's like, let's not like support these super quick to capitalize on the momentum initiatives, and let's recenter and refocus our desires on building out like the primitives of this layer one space. Right. It's literally, we're not even a year in whenever he was making these suggestions. Right. It's like, dude, we got a lot of things to kind of like figure out here before we start to kind of like, I don't know, create these like these new tales of man, I don't even know how to say it. Just basically
fleecing maneuvers.
Whatever, dude. Basically L2 stuff. It's just like it's too soon, right? And we need to really focus on the technical innovations on layer one, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, and it's not an L2 thing. It's just a general thing. It's a general mechanism for crypto to fleece people, right? That's what he was warning against.
Right, but the reason why L2 is like hot and center in this discussion, because that was like the most egregious like utilization of that mechanism you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
So we came from Ethereum. All of a sudden, after a couple of years, there's like 100 different L2s.
Yeah.
You come to Bitcoin, like 1 month later, there's like 100 different L2s.
Right. Exactly. So that is what Benny was simply trying to warn the public about. Is like, guys, there's obviously something wrong with this.
Yeah.
Do not entrust all of your like trust into things like this right off the bat, right? Actually do some due diligence. Don't get fleeced, please.
Yeah.
So that sentiment is calming. I think people are starting to realize like, actually, he was right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like potential downfall consequences in trusting these types of actors too quickly.
Yeah.
And it's starting to roll out right now. People are starting to like understand, like, damn, maybe we jumped the gun too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the attention and as a result, liquidity and trust is recentering back to layer one metaprotocols as
predicted,
as it should, because that is actually the space that needs that amount of support and attention, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If we're going to actually proliferate anything of substance into the future for like this Bitcoin ecosystem, it's got to start there, and the focus has to be there.
Yeah,
entirely.
L2s make sense after Bitcoin gets so congested that nobody can use it for a long time, for months at a time. Then it's like, okay, we need L2s. We need them.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to pay $100 per transaction.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's what happened to Ethereum, right? Mm-hmm. And so we saw that. Ethereum was hundreds of dollars for months, for a while.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about that, so let's talk about Tap. There's a new announcement coming from Tap. A launch, dude.
Yeah.
An actual token launch.
Yeah, so we're thrilled to announce that Tap will soon be the first Ordinals project to have a token launch on Coinlist.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to participate, make sure to set up a Coinlist account and comply. Not available to U.S. and Canada users.
Cucked again, dude.
as per usual.
Yeah, we're used to this, dude. We're always excluded from all the funsies.
Yeah, Americans can't have any fun.
No.
Can't purchase anything.
Right. Yeah.
Unless it's like...
Unless you're already like wealthy individual.
That's right.
Those are the rules of America. It's like if you're already rich, then you can have the possibility of getting a little bit richer.
Even more rich, yeah.
But if you're not, then you're perpetually fucked.
Yeah.
That is the American way, dude.
That's the American dream, right? That's what we all signed up for.
It is. But nonetheless, all you non-Americans, You guys,
there's a lot of you.
There's a lot of you out there. You guys get to experience like whatever the whole scope and spectrum of Web3 offerings. You know?
Yeah. So we've seen Solana launch on this. What else? Like
a lot. There's a whole tier list here, dude. So
near protocol.
These are like highly immutable.
Immutable.
These are some, most of these are top 100s, right?
Ocean protocol.
Yeah, AI.
Yeah, AI stuff.
Yeah.
Stacks.
Yeah, so Coinlist isn't no slumper, dude. Filecoin, I can see their logo from here.
Yeah. That's kind of tiny for you, yeah. Filecoin.
But nonetheless, so there's been some substantial protocol launches happening. But the reason why this is important, because this is the first time something native to Bitcoin has made it onto this list, right?
Ah, yes.
First time.
Finally.
Fucking weird, right?
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, dude. Benny is pulling off something actually potentially legendary making here. And his team, of course.
Yeah, this is huge, dude.
Yeah. So let's talk about, if you want to just quickly give like
my house, dude, GitHub.
Yeah, give an elevator pitch. What even is TAP for people who don't know?
Okay, so TAP is like a BRC20 in the fact that you can deploy, mint, and transfer.
Yeah.
But unlike a BRC20, it is a platform for developers to build on top of it and create some sort of functionality off of your inscription assets.
Mm-hmm.
Functionalities such as like the one that we're testing called privilege authorization, which was just released like in the testnet phase.
Yeah.
We've been testing it for the last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it enables sort of like a launch pad where creators can deploy, in our case, a UNAT, and they can decide how many mints per address, whitelists.
Basically, creators aren't pigeonholed to just like a very rigid preset token minting parameter set forth by like in BRC20's case, there's only 3 functions, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think this one in particular is interesting because whenever you launched an art project, you'd have to create your art, inscribe all the pieces, and then create the actual inscription collection, send them all to yourself, create PSBTs, and then list them on a marketplace like Magic Eden for a launch.
Yeah.
And then that's how the artist would get paid.
Yeah.
And then so what? So big deal, right? Well, inscribing all that to yourself, that's nearly like $50,000.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're asking artists to like spend that much money up front just to sell art. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So in this privilege authorization, you don't have to do any of that.
Correct. That's just one example of like the dynamic ability of this token protocol, right? And we've been preaching this since the beginning. It's just, all these different fungible token protocols, runes included. It's like, they're not addressing that core issue. If anybody's pitching you like a token protocol and the main keyword takeaway from it is like functionality or something like that, then it's an insta fade in our opinion.
Yeah.
If it's not something designed to support developers and people with actual technical ability to create new value
totally
on top of, it's not worth your time or investment or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Your entertainment focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And TAP has been the first one to kind of like come out with that ethos from the very beginning, like a while. And as a result,
surprising, they're the only ones. It's weird. I mean, now there's one a few, I would say.
CBRC20s, BRC20s on their way. So we're getting into the metamorphosis stage. Where now like we're starting to kind of like transform and be better,
mature.
Maturation, right?
Yeah.
But TAP is like, eras ahead, because the thing that underpins all of this is an indexing network. Right?
That's right.
That and Trac is like an exclusive, as of right now, like technical infrastructure protocol that can at least get us to a point where we can distribute this indexing necessity beyond just like a single actor.
Yeah.
Right.
I totally agree. So you're talking about decentralizing the indexing capability.
Right. Because Trac and TAP, it's all part of the same like protocol umbrella. So it's like build the functionality, the knowledge base for developers like ourselves, but we don't have to completely entrust a single actor as far as like the indexing of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only one in the room actually trying to do that. So that's where the value lies. Right. So as a result, we've been using this stuff, right, to introduce DMT.
Yes.
Right, so let's talk about that.
All right. So we're looking at a tweet by Sol. Shout out Sol. Anyone can make generative art using Bitcoin natively generated immutable block data, just like anyone can shove arbitrary data into the witness, OP return, etc. space for storage. But it is protocols and standards that make it understandable and seen. Ordinals protocol, SAT serial number combined with a specific inscription envelope construct, normalizes storage use case in one opinionated way. DMT framework with supporting protocols, i.e. TAP, and subprotocols, i.e. NATCATs, normalizes generative art and non-arbitrary tokenomics or hybrid models. So yeah, it's just a basic explanation of why, DMT and being able to build on top of protocols and creating metaprotocols on top of that, it has a ton of value.
Correct. Yeah, like what Casey introduced with ordinals, it's a showcase of that, right? The tremendous amount of value has proliferated as a result, right? By introducing the ability to brute force new arbitrary data onto the Bitcoin data layer, right? So we've done basically the reverse process.
Right.
That's what DMT does. Think of it as like chain link in the graph, right? Somebody's got to bring data to the chain. Somebody's got to leverage that data to extract it out and create something of new substance. That's what DMT is. The protocol enables that, right? But it's the whole metaprotocol logic and stuff like that.
Yeah. Also think about this too. Casey came out with ordinals, and then Domo came out with the first metaprotocol, BRC20. And BRC20 was responsible for over half of the inscriptions that were happening on ordinals.
Yeah.
A metaprotocol was responsible for over half of the inscriptions occurring on ordinals.
Yeah.
So think about that. So now TAP comes out, and they have this ecosystem of developers. We come in and build DMT on top of TAP, and that's responsible for nearly half of these mints, right? NAT itself was 840,000 mints.
It's true,
right? And so parallels are happening.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting, right? It's just, and that's been the call to action for the last year. It's just people need to come in and create new attempts of experimentation to create new value on top of Bitcoin, right? So that's what we've done with DMT. We've introduced a few verticals of new utility for creators, right? It's like a hybrid token approach when you deploy a non-arbitrary token, right? Because you're actually your Genesis creating fungible and non-fungible tokens within the same act, right?
Yeah.
So separate markets are forming as a result of that.
Yeah.
With the NAT token itself was the first demonstration we set forth about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit if we can.
Yeah, so we're looking at an article here written on February. We talked about this before. This is a well-done article kind of breaking down exactly what NATs are and why they're important and the data source leveraging Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a deep dive. It's obviously too much for
really
this
deep
video, but I don't know if we have an NAT/DMT playlist on our channel yet, but we definitely need to get on that ASAP.
Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah.
We have a bitmap one, but we're going to add a playlist for you guys who are new to this whole non-arbitrary token space.
Yeah.
You want to understand how it came about and, its purpose and application. We'll put that together.
Yeah. So, you guys keep talking about DMT and these non-arbitrary tokens. What's the first token that that launched? Well, it's called NAT, right? Yeah. And so the ticker is really DMT. It's DMT NAT, and it's a TAP token. But it's using the DMT protocol. And here's what it looks like. So it launched, and it's been accumulating since.
Yeah, this is the token you're talking about. That it was the first, again, showcase of what you could do with the NAT framework. And there was an 800,000 block claim process in order to distribute these tokens. It was completely fairly distributed.
The second block out.
Yeah, the second block out, complete block out.
Yeah.
Right? Just like Bitmap was the first, this was the second one. So, it's very interesting to see how the market kind of interprets all that. And there's quite a lot of a learning curve to kind of understand what's happening here. But that's kind of the point. It's fine. This isn't something... a flash in the pan meme, right? Or this is something that could potentially set forth an entire new fork in the road, right? 15 years of arbitrary token creation. All of a sudden, this is the first attempt at something non-arbitrary.
That's right.
That means there's a 15-year potential longevity to this whole ecosystem and this token itself, right? That is the purpose.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, you guys, UNAT ready, right?
I guess not, dude. So let's talk about UNATs. You just dropped it.
Yeah.
NATCATs.
Right. NATCATs. So this is the first one leveraging DMT as an art project. And went crazy. This guy, EV, he decided to leverage the DMT protocol to say, hey, you know what? I can do some art on here.
Yeah.
let's do NatCats. And so it kind of launched quietly in a Discord.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, we caught wind of it, just kind of reading the chat.
Yeah,
we're this is cool.
You put out like a little viewer tool where you could just enter a Bitcoin block height, and it's just going to generate you a unique non-arbitrary token, which has the same like applicability of a non-fungible token, right? It can be a collectible, just some sort of. It's a content distribution vehicle, just like NFTs are, right? Yeah. They could either be unique in characteristics, profile, pictures, PFPs, whatever the fuck, or it could be like a non-arbitrary supply of some sort of static content that's been generated. Yeah. An example, we just did like some crowns.
That's right.
To our mscribe testers, right? So as of right now, there's like roughly 3,000 of them, but the cap is like a non-arbitrary cap of like whatever the NatCat supply is.
Yeah, it was 8,064 or something like that.
Same element that NatCats used, right?
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, 8,064.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so our testers are well battle tested for sure.
For sure,
they went through some stuff this week.
Hell and back, dude. Like that meme with the guy was like the eyes are wide open. It's like war breaking. That's what it's been feeling like for the last week. But we'll do like a full podcast to go down, explain what we've been going through the last week. But yeah, NatCats. I mean, it was a free mint. It got as high as like 100 million market cap or something like that. So
yeah, it's like $8,000 or almost $10,000 per NatCat at one point.
Yeah.
It's like a 10,000x.
So we're in literally accumulation zone for all of this stuff we're talking about. Trac itself, NatCats, the NAT token, the whole ecosystem. Why? Because the attention was sucked out of the room by runes for the last 4 months or so.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, that resulted in largely just a gasp of air.
Yeah.
But yeah, the attention is recentering around all this stuff. Right.
Yeah, speaking of attention, King, they have been doing a great job on marketing. They're going to do a drop on mscribe here in the next few days that we've been preparing for. All those testers who've been testing on mscribe.
So you talked about privilege authority. This is the first one.
This is the first one, leveraging privilege authority. So creates a better distribution. The creators can set a price and limits per address.
Yeah.
And whitelist, all that stuff. And then on top of that, it's like a completely PvP situation where you pile in onto this website, you see everybody's cursor, and then you're out there trying to, jockey position for a block.
Yeah, this is it. Like, this is the grand showcase of what we could do with DMT. And not just like, so everybody's going to become familiarized with like the value attributions of doing a DMT project.
Yeah.
But also creating like the right necessary infrastructure support, so it's as viable as like any other ordinal or any other non-fungible asset class out there, right? It has all the same tools, all the same ability, if not more. Actually, we've created this whole new vertical where now you can associate content, art, whatever, to Bitcoin block data, right? There's not another non-fungible protocol out there that enables artists and content creators to take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So this is it. It's all going down in a few days, dude.
Yeah.
So get your popcorn ready, dude. It's going to be quite the spectacle.
Yeah,
literally.
It is. Like, if you don't have a whitelist, you should probably just join in and just watch the mania.
It's true. There's a whole spectator mode.
It is a spectator mode. It's just like playing Counter-Strike, dude. Whenever you die, you just like spectate the fight.
That's true. And yeah, what you're going to see is it's like it's a very early day version of that, but eventually we want to scale this into the future to become literally like
Ready Player One.
Yeah, watch that scene in Ready Player One where everyone's just like battling out
for coins
for some reason, right? It's like, dude, well, if at some point in the future we're going to be battling out in the metaverse, for blocks,
finally,
block claims, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
So the prices for the redacted mint is pretty reasonable, man. We're talking about.
Yeah, these are.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's basically dust.
Yeah,
this is stuff you would see in your wallet.
Yeah, it's like,
and you would not even notice.
Yeah,
if somebody just sent you these amounts, like what the fuck? Yeah, you would just like walk by.
Yeah,
and just like normal day activities, right? So this is it. This is getting in at the ground floor again. This is the first privilege authority deployed unique non-arbitrary token, right? Yeah. And then so ground floor market cap of this is going to be sub 1 million.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Do with that what you will, entertainment wise, right?
Yeah, and just for entertainment.
Yeah, considering this is all part of the Trac token ecosystem umbrella that is just now starting to like flourish.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah, and the last one here I wanted to talk about because we got an OKX tweet talking about the introduction of ordinals and the whole ecosystem. You take a look at it.
Yeah.
There's one notable thing that's missing, and I find it odd, but it's not that odd when you think about it.
Why is it not odd, dude? I find it incredibly odd. I haven't thought hard enough, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what's missing here is the tap ecosystem.
Yeah.
But
everything we're talking about.
Yeah. So OKX, they are just like anybody else. It's completely biased.
Okay.
And it's biased because they might have investments on some things here, some sort of collaboration, partnership, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But my point here is that every tweet that you see, including ours and our videos, everything is biased.
Okay.
Right. So when you look at stuff like this, take this as like one piece of information.
Yeah.
In the whole like spectrum of information.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Take this and add it to your, all right, I got a tweet here about the ecosystem, and then find another tweet about this ecosystem, and then look at the entire spectrum of ecosystems on Bitcoin and put that together.
Yeah.
So don't ever look at stuff like this and assumes like, oh, nothing else is happening.
Yeah.
Anywhere else. Right.
100%.
And so this is just like a PSA is like, this is like helpful stuff. Like this is a good starting point if you're new into Bitcoin, but don't stop here. This isn't where all that's being happening on Bitcoin.
Yeah, you could do that, but at the end of the day, also it's kind of like disingenuous in a sense. I know these guys have done their due diligence and research.
Yeah, 100%.
They've seen
OKX knows tap. They've talked to Benny.
Yeah, they know,
and then they specifically ignore it.
Right,
it's weird.
It's egregious in my opinion because, and like you said, it's a biased take. But it does like mislead people into thinking like there isn't like substance. Some of these things mentioned here are like nothing burger. Don't point at nothing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at this.
Some of these
just do basic research, and some of these nothing's happening.
Some of them are like actually truly dead. That's what made it to their like docket of things that you need to be paying attention to in the Bitcoin ecosystem. So yeah, it's completely misleading. But still, that's kind of where you want to be positioned in the market, where things are being like faded this hard. Mm-hmm. We said the same thing about Bitmap. Everybody faded Bitmap. Everyone until they couldn't.
Yeah.
Right. There was a point in time where Bitmap did so well, all the faders like had to like literally like
bend the knee, dude.
Bend the knee and like publicly accept the shame rally, like, yeah, you know what, you guys are right, we shouldn't have faded this thing, right? And it's gonna happen to this ecosystem, the entire thing.
That's right.
DMT, Trac, Tap, everybody who's building, and we're missing a lot of things. There's like DeFi protocols deploying as we speak.
Yeah.
And they're developing. We know that firsthand. So
yeah, this
is a good signal. This is as bullish as it gets. Whenever like the industry that is forming on Bitcoin is fading this, I mean, that's where you want. That's where you want to be.
Exactly. It's such a good point. Just like everybody was talking about runes and like this opportunity of runes. Yeah. If everybody is talking about it, there's no opportunity.
Exactly.
You know who was talking about BRC20 in the early days? Almost nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Almost.
That was the opportunity.
We're right there again with this ecosystem, right? Nobody, it's getting to the mass fade, but the people who know. Right. Yeah. And if you're smart enough to understand the actual fundamental value that's being produced here, then you're going to be positioned ahead of like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what we do on this channel. We look for those opportunities.
That's right.
And we've been unwavering in that thought model. And no matter what noise comes about and is trying to tell us like, you guys need to like pay attention to these memes or this L2 that's like, that has like all these point systems. Like, don't you want points? Don't you want airdrops, guys?
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
We want to see real substance creation, and especially on Bitcoin, because the implications are that much more severe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well said, dude. I mean, that's what's interesting to us. And we like talking about things that are interesting because we can't talk about memes because it's not interesting. There's nothing to say about it. Mm-hmm. And you can't sustain a conversation around it. Unlike some people where they have some sort of weird talent, dude. We talked about it in the past, but.
Okay. Well, that's it, dude. Yeah. So happy 1 year to the Benny boys out there. Shout out to all the Benny boys, the guys who did not fucking fade Benny no matter what.
Yeah.
Because you guys know what's up, and you guys are going to be in for an interesting second year, I think, especially based on what we know, what we're working on developing with the DMT ecosystem. I mean, we're really trying to like shake some shit up, ruffle some feathers, right? We're not trying to do anything that somebody else has done. This is all brand new stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And we're literally like nearing like killing ourselves to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Averaging 4 a.m. sleep time, dude.
I feel you,
last
dude.
couple of days.
It's been a lot of pain and grind, but it's going to pay off because Bitcoin deserves this type of passion, you know?
Yeah, and so we're going to be testing a lot of this new technology, Privilege Auth. Head to mscribe, go to their Discord, and then just like participate. Just because it's all new stuff, you know, there's going to be a lot of bruises throughout this like path.
Yep.
But yeah, this is all for the redacted launch on Monday.
Okay, and one more flex, dude.
Yeah.
Let me just get a good shot. Javier, let me know if this is like properly in focus. There it is, dude. That's the whole gang.
NAT ecosystem, dude.
Right. So these are the first ones, dude.
Yeah.
This family is gonna expand 100x a year from now.
Yeah,
is my prediction.
100%. All right, guys, that's it for us. Appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.